Lost Ark is a game that's had some really high highs and some pretty low lows, and I'd like to think I was there for all of it. I played the game from release and played through the entire campaign with all my friends. Fought the bosses together, conquered the raids with one another, and tilted over honing side by side. It was a game I couldn't stop playing. I'd always put away some part of my day to get on and play. The game was pretty, stunning even. The animations were satisfying and fluid. I don't really like top-down games, but this one I had fun with. My friends and I started a guild with a ton of players, hosting raid nights and clearing those high-level over-the-top events known as Lost Ark Legion raids. But what happened to Lost Ark? What made me stop playing all those years ago? To answer those questions, I decided to give Lost Ark a second try. A fresh start on a brand new server. I wanted to see what the game was like today and if it was worth playing now. Also, if you're new around here, drop a sub. As a small YouTuber, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, we first gotta make a character, and damn, yeah, the characters look fire. Both the girls and the guys look like straight models, and I'm not complaining. I already knew what class I wanted to be, a soul eater, and honestly, I've always liked the assassin classes. My main when I was playing before was the Shadowhunter, I think, but I really just like the side weapons, so this time around I picked Soul Eater. We get some backstory for our character, and then we get to try out our skills. And yeah, it looks amazing just like before. This is what really hooked me into playing the game, and I can already tell that I'm going to like this class, or around 2 of a honeymoon phase. I don't know where it came from or how I got it, but I had the max level power pass, which is a lot of money, but I don't think I could have done this video without that, so I'm thankful for it. The game lets you either skip the power pass and get all the materials, but me doing this video, I was like, how bad could it really be? Right, so we go through the raiding of this castle, which I kind of forget why we're doing it, but I remember the first time playing through this game was hella fun, even with the story department. Then the game lets us play as Armin, and we watched the tragedy unfold. We get angry and obliterate just a few human lives, but eventually we move on. Next, the game takes us to the techno-punk city, where some guy wanted to harness the energy of the sun to kill our common enemy. I don't really know, I was just reading, I think. Apparently he saw the future and saw his city burn, so he took it upon himself to do it. Yeah, I don't know. I then spend the next hour setting up my skills, ruins, tripods, engravings, nails, hair, acrylics, cameras, like there's just so many mechanics. I can't really get into it, but a fun thing I noticed is that I had a ton of cosmetics attached to my account. So we looked pretty fire coming right out the gate. I then jumped right into the cosmic gates, or chaos dungeons I think, whatever they're called, and tried out the class for real. And yeah, it was amazing. It was flashy, it was fast, it hit hard. Everything I looked for in a game. But after clearing that chaos dungeon, I called it a day. Alright, new day. The first thing I want to try out is the Guardian raids, which was pretty fun. I had to watch a quick guide video on what to do, but the Guardian raids aren't really that punishing, so most groups can clear it with relative ease. Or you'd have just one guy do like 50% of the damage. After that, I try to play some actual raids, but just aren't able to get into any lobby, so I explore the stronghold you unlock. The least I can say is that it's interesting. I like when games do this kind of thing where you get your own home you can customize and have its uses, and in this case it's kinda huge. To me, it was just overwhelming the amount of things you can do, though I did visit someone's stronghold that looked amazing, but they told me it took months to get it this way. Anyway, it's finally time. I stopped playing before Clown came out, but because of the power pass, I'm able to try Broshaza. I think that's how you say it, which back in the day was wild. This was because we only had things like Vulcan, and comparing the mechanics between those two raids are night and day. The things you need to coordinate and keep in mind are just miles apart, and the raid itself looked crazy. First off, the cinematics are mind-blowing. The terrain changing in an instant, the crazy looking boss attacks. I mean, I also just love how easy it is to read the boss attacks with its AoE red things of death. It's just really fun doing it for the first time. The boss obliterating the skyline in the background or throwing meteors at us, And as the player, especially in the 1v1 setting, it's just wild to me. Now, while I have the first gate play in the background, I want to talk a little about solo raids and group raids from my experience. Initially, I did want to try this new raid in the 8-player group setting, but I could just not for the life of me find a lobby that I could join or even try in. No one would let me in, and when I tried to make my own party, I never got enough players to start the raid. The gatekeeping for raids is just kind of insane between the reclears or HW raids or car runs or buses. There's just really isn't room for new players. I didn't even know what HW raids meant, and I know now it means homework raids, but I still don't really know what that means. But, you know, I can't really blame the players at the end of the day. These raids are extremely punishing. Each run is split into multiple gates, and you ideally want to clear them all in one sitting. And each failed run can set you back 30 minutes or an hour, and people just don't really have time to do that. Especially when they have 5 or 6 more characters they need to do it on. I think solo raids help with that, so new players can actually run the raids, but the goal they give is kind of really low. I'll get more into that later in the video because I don't want to bore you just yet. I did clear 3 of the 4 gates for Brawl solo before the weekly reset came by, mostly because I did it the day before the reset. Fuck me. I decided to try some of the other content like the towers for their skill points and other goodies, which was pretty fun. I didn't realize they had their own storyline going on, but I'm not good enough for the last tower yet. I was getting my ass handed to me by these bots. But hey, maybe next time. I then spent the next, I don't know, few years of my life honing to plus 15. So enjoy this short, intermission, I guess. Yeah, let's call it that.
I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
After trying and failing to join a party for any raid, which I have to say, you literally have to watch a guide before trying these things, I feel like just going in blind is insanity. I don't know how people do it when the new raids come out, and they just run in trying to understand mechanics. Especially the crazy ones like in Vicus with the counting mechanic or legit any of the mechanics. True trailblazers. I tried to test my mental by soloing Valton, and I obliterate gate 1 with ease and kill the Minotaur on my first try too. Honestly, it felt good. I really like this solo mode raid thing. Also, I now unlocked the next Guardian raid, so I tried it, and yeah, it's nice, simple, and fun. It's just cool to try new things, you know? We also had a really interesting healer. I guess you have these kind of people in every game, but hey, you do you. That's what we call a heal. Now for the most fun I've had in Lost Ark. What really gave me hope for the game and made me want to play more than just the passive initial glamour. This was after I tried soloing Kyangale, the new Abyss raid I need to do to progress my armor set. I couldn't really get too far on my own because I didn't have the DPS to kill it before I went into berserk mode and just offed me. Anyway, I found some people that were willing to play with me and teach me the raid. And it was genuinely the most fun I've had in Lost Ark since coming back. Together with them helping me understand the attack patterns and the relatively simple Gate 1 mechanic, we quickly take care of it and move on. Now, Gate 2 was a little more interesting. The first thing we had to do was catch these elements so they wouldn't destroy these outer orbs. We had to rotate after picking each one up because we get a buff of either fire, water, or grass. If for example I pick the fire, I'd have to move to the wall. I'd then have to move to the grass, or because it wouldn't be effective against me, and I take less damage from it, if that makes any sense. While this is happening, our healer heals us during it. Once it's done, a color flashes on the boss itself indicating where we should go, the opposite color protection. There's also the spacebar mechanic where you want to complete it just when this dark wave pulses out, which I started to understand better, because even though we were able to clear it, they restarted the raid just for me just to make sure I learned it. Now, the last gate. I kinda forgot to record the call before all this, so you'll actually hear all of us, but the glass gate was pretty fun. I mean, it's just kinda exciting playing and trying out new things. I just can't keep telling you how fun it is to do these raids with other people, especially this group of people, so shout out to them for helping me through all this. Honestly, if I had a group of friends like this, running and helping me through the raids as I get closer and closer to their level, this could definitely be my main game again. But getting that is not easy to do. Hit me up if you want to be friends and run stuff with me, thank you. Anyway, the first mechanic is this light that has to pass through all the players until you send it back to the boss. I messed it up the first time, but hey, we got on the run back. Next thing that happened was this orb pickup thing, and it was kinda funny watching us scrambling to find them. Then we need to get under the shadows so we don't get eviscerated by the light. Anyway, while I have this raid in the background, there are a few things that I wish changed in Lost Ark more. Gold generation is kind of hard for new players, especially because honing also takes gold. The game gives you plenty of other resources, but gold, at least according to a few videos I watched, it could take up to 2 or 3 months depending on how lucky you get. Now this math may be wrong now because of the bound gold changes that came in last week, so maybe it is better. I saw this because honestly, as a new player, my ass is probably only going to be able to run Legion raids solo. But yeah, that's where I'm at for Lost Ark. Maybe another solution to this instead of giving out more gold, because I know how much of a bot problem Lost Ark had before. I mean, yeah, the things I've seen, it was pretty bad. But maybe you could reduce the cost of honing for new players. I'm not really sure. We get through a few more mechanics, one where each of us are split into a different dimension, need to figure out which imposter to stagger. Then another shadow section, my group lets me get that last hit in. Again, huge shout out to them, amazing players. So, is Lost Ark worth returning to in 2024? Yeah. I think the raids are really fun and the returning player experience is well done, especially with the special events they tend to put out to help with it. I know there's another one coming soon along with a horizontal progression speed up thing. I think that's what it's called, but I think it's worth jumping into those events because the core of Lost Ark, the raids, are amazing, and they're even better with friends. What really brings it down is the gatekeeping culture that's kind of formed around how punishing the raids are. Maybe making it so even if 1 or 2 bad players are in the party, it's still relatively clearable. But I'm sure you guys can tell me your opinion in the comments and I'll take a look at them all. Honing is still, well, honing. There are tons of other upgrading avenues to look at, from tripods to engravings. I'm not really sure how well those are now because I haven't really been able to look into it. Oh, by the way, the support engraving thing is so good. A free 5x3 engraving set is just amazing, and I mean it. Lost Ark has done a lot of things to help returning players and new players kind of pull up to the speed with this content. So I'm willing to keep playing it. Who knows, maybe I'll make another video depending on how well this one does.
Let's go! Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the learning lessons.
Was it too bad?
I think it's pretty good. Honestly, I think just looking at it as a book, it was kind of crazy, but doing it, it's not too bad. Like when I was watching the guide videos, I was like, holy, this is a lot, but doing it, I think it's pretty okay. I like it.
A lot of yap in those.
Just, you know, make sure you keep doing it frequently.
I mean, unfortunately, this is the only character I have that can do it, I think, right now, but
That's okay.
yeah. Every time it comes up, I'll probably do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I need the mats anyway.
Exactly. Just, you know, put yourself out there in case that you need another run with us to, you know, kind of like refresh max or something before
Sure,
you
yeah.
go out and plug.
Okay.
Just let us know. I don't mind, you know, refreshing the memory.
Got you.
But you got it done pretty quick.
Yeah.
Maybe because you did solo, so that also helped.
Yeah,
A lot.
I did a bit of solos from Gate 1 and Gate 2. And I mean, I used to play a lot of Lost Ark, so I kind of understand, like, the basics.
Yeah, but it's also a fairly new class.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I just think, I don't know, like...
Anyway, this is your friendly reminder that if you're new around here, feel free to drop a sub. It would help a lot and motivate me more. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, when
That's all I have to say for now.
Yeah,
So until next time, I hope to see you there.